This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you Year-End Series exclusive interview with Anurag Jain, Secretary, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. The interviewer is Gaura Dhawanlal, AIR correspondent.
Mr. Anurag Jain, thank you so much for coming onto our program. We would like to understand from you, sir, the PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan. A lot is being spoken about. A lot of milestones are also being covered. Could you just share with our listeners what all is happening?
PM Gati Shakti is basically a transformative program, the way governance is done. And within this PM Gati Shakti concept, PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan, which is for the infrastructure, is fully operational. It was launched in October 2021 by Honorable Prime Minister. It is basically GIS map where about 1200 layers have been put by all the central ministries concerned and about 800 layers by the state governments. So you have a visibility of about 2000 layers. What does this mean? That you can actually see how the land is there, 3D visibility of the whole area. You know what is the forest layer, you can see where the mining is being done, you can see how the water flows, you see all the infrastructure, where the roads are, where the railways, where the power line, the cables, the gas pipeline. So you have a visibility of everything what you require for development of a infrastructure project. So what it has done is that development of a project report, which typically used to take 6 months to 8 months, has been drastically cut short to just about 1.5 to 2 months. Suppose you have to create a road from, say, Pune to Bangalore. Normally what a person would do, he'll go out and make a DPR by actually doing the survey, carrying out the survey across this 300-400 kilometer length. Here you can have, sitting on the table, you actually have visibility of the whole area. You can plan out various alternatives and then you go out for ground truthing after working out on table for a few days. Go out, do the verification on the ground and come out with a final plan. So this has been now being extensively used. We have a administrative structure. We have empowered group of secretaries chaired by the cabinet secretary. We have network planning group where all these infrastructure ministries, they sit together and plan their project. So in last 1 year we have had some 38 meetings of this network planning group and they have started clearing projects. Some about 58 projects have been cleared by them. And in addition to that, they have undertaken a study of existing logistics big sectors like steel, coal, food, fertilizer, ports, and they have been able to identify about 200 critical infrastructure gaps. So now these projects are being posed for approval on priority. When these projects get approved, our logistic efficiency will see a huge upturn.
So when we talk of 3D visibility, it is live. That means what are the latest changes and it is, as is happening, those changes are reflected. Is that right?
Updating is about once in 6 months. So
okay.
It could be, that is why we keep saying that do the ground truthing. But every 6 months we get new satellite images and our data is updated every 6 months as far as satellite data is concerned. Otherwise, rest of the data which ministries put, which whatever their layer is, it is as updated as the ministry's information.
So when we talk of, planning and all the ministries, all the infrastructure ministries are coming together. So that is great cohesion. And you have special systems and platforms where all ministries, they have transparency on how each other is working so that they can all pull in the same direction. This planning is done, sir, for how long term? Because we've seen that, whenever we build roads, like now the roads are really being built for a long term. So that constant redigging of the roads, laying of the roads is not happening. This is a long-term view. How long is that planning being done for?
Depends on that particular sector, but they are being done with a long-term vision. But what is more important is, as you yourself said, that ministries are working together. So they give a huge efficiency gain. Say, for example, in a particular case, gas pipeline project had to be developed.
Right.
When they came to the network planning group, they wanted to do the land acquisition. The road department told them that they had just completed the land acquisition almost on the same alignment. So from one corner of it, they could actually lay down their pipeline. Whole land acquisition was actually avoided and the work could begin almost immediately thereafter, avoiding the land acquisition completely. In certain cases, the reworked alignments avoid the environment permission completely. So you are ensuring better environment for our country by not going through the forest or environmentally sensitive zones, by avoiding them completely. On the other hand, your project is getting the benefit of faster clearances that you don't even require that clearance. Sometimes environmental clearance can take 2 to 3 years. So the implementation also becomes faster. So it's a coordinated implementation, faster implementation. Then we also have a project monitoring group which monitors the progress of the project. So it is a faster and coordinated implementation also.
Very valid, sir, because when huge industrial estates are set up, people are encouraged to go and start industries there. I think earlier, then infrastructure work used to start and many industries could not even take off. But I think if it's a holistic one like this, then everything will happen with a low gestation period quickly, and it's a great industrial boost.
Definitely. We also have another program called NICDC National Industrial Corridor Program, in which we are developing 11 industrial corridors and 32 nodes as of now. So in which we have completed 4 nodes, that is 4 new townships. One of them is Dholera in Gujarat, one is Shendra Bitkin in Maharashtra, one is Vikram Udyog Puri in Madhya Pradesh, and one is Greater Noida in Uttar Pradesh. So these are state-of-art cities which have been developed, and now industrialists have started setting up their industry there, and they are integrated townships. So there are residential provisions for residential quarters also in that. So it's a master planning exercise which has been done very beautifully to ensure very lively cities which will develop over a period of time.
Right. So this is in fact the backbone of, how we talk of creating employment close to where you live, and thereby benefiting the environment. So it's actually the backbone of all holistic development in the country.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Right, sir. So we come to now, logistics. We have seen that even huge companies have actually managed to break records even in their turnovers by actually working on good logistical cost, becoming cost competitive. And your ministry is playing a huge role in understanding logistic and how India can become more cost competitive. Where are we going in this direction, sir?
We launched our logistic policy earlier this year on 17th September 2022. And I talked about National Master Plan earlier that provides the infrastructure in a big way. And logistic policy is the complementary thing. It provides for the policies, it provides for the processes, it provides for the skilled manpower to ensure that the logistic efficiency comes in. So you have infrastructure, there are the processes and the skilled manpower. This will ensure faster, higher efficiencies in the logistics. As of now, people do estimate, by some estimates, people say that logistic cost in the country is to the tune of 13 to 14%, while the world benchmark is about 8 to 9%. So there is a scope of cutting this cost by about 5%. So the improved infrastructure, which is a multimodal infrastructure, you save on time. Suppose you have standardization of everything. Particular products will be packaged in this particular way, so that an integral number of things fit into a container, and containers fit into in the vehicles in a particular integral number. So the movement becomes very fast, the handling becomes very fast. So on this concept, the whole system is being developed. On the other hand, in the processes for logistic efficiency, right now with 7 departments, there are 32 electronic systems which one needs to touch base with. One may have to touch base with, like DGFT, the customs, the railway systems, the road transport systems, the air freight systems. So there are about 32 platforms which we have connected through a platform called Unified Logistic Interface Platform. ULIT platform, what it does, it's a game changer the way UPI. We have all seen what UPI has done to the payment system in the country. It's an open platform. It has given open APIs for other people to come out with a user-friendly applications like WhatsApp Pay, Google Pay, Paytm and whatnot. So it is on the backbone of UPI. Similarly, ULIP provides a backbone where open APIs of these 32 systems have been given. So these private companies can create their applications which are very user-friendly, and people have already started doing that.
In fact, when we talk of, and we are a diverse country, when we talk of connectivity, accessibility, availability of opportunity as some basic rights which we need to give people, all these are going to ensure that these are actually delivered. And I think that's really powerful. So talking entrepreneurship, talking of startups, I think Startup India started very brilliantly is still continuing. What is the support that Startup India is looking for, and how is the ministry providing it?
The Startup Initiative again is a huge success story. It was started in 16th January 2016, and in a matter of just about 6 years or 7th year running right now, India has grown to be the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. We have got more than 80,000 registered startups, and we have closed more than 100 unicorns. So this is how success of the startup ecosystem is being measured world over. But the way we have moved around doing this, it is a systematic hand-holding. But more important than the hand-holding, it is the change of mindset of the people. After this startup initiative was launched, there is a change in the mindset, the way young people look at. Earlier, everyone was running after a job. Now people want to give wings to their dreams. They want to become entrepreneurs. They feel that a thing which they can pursue and become successful entrepreneur. Earlier, the parents used to nudge them to move towards job. But now parents are also looking openly. This is the kind of success stories I hear from young minds. They say that how their parents initially were of the view that they should go for a job, but after the startup initiative, parents were okay, you try out something if you want. And that has started showing great results. Secondly, from our department side, we give a lot of benefits which are listed on our systems, like startup, once you get a registration with DPIIT, then there are facilitations for taking orders in the government procurement. There is a start runway we call on the GEM portal, where there are concessions in terms of earnest money. You don't have to pay earnest money. You don't have to have experience for supplying to government, and up to a certain level of order, you can compete and get it. Then we have fund of funds. We have a startup fund through professional agencies who give initial venture seed funding to them. Then fund of fund actually invest into daughter funds, and through that fund is provided to the startups to grow further. This year, recently, we have come out in the month of October with credit guarantee scheme for startups. Then we do a national level competition, and to the awardees or the finalists, we do a complete hand holding, giving them a mentorship support, giving them exposure trip, giving them an opportunity to travel outside in various organizations and share their knowledge. So all these kind of supports we extend to young startups.
Right. So this increase in risk-taking ability, I think somewhere, as you said it very beautifully, giving wings to their dreams. It's important. This is their age. And I think this building a culture of entrepreneurs is somewhere what is also the need of the hour, because young people today think very differently than what the earlier generations thought. And this is a part of their demand. So we are also currently, India is holding the G20 presidency. So any foregrounding or any focus in particular your ministry has for this presidency?
G20 is a huge opportunity for India, and India is a country where people trust. Trust is the biggest watchword, I would say. Given the geopolitical situation right now, as you would have seen in Bali, the final leaders' communique came out because of India's intervention. So that is the stature of India at present. And in these turbulent times when actually there are geopolitical tensions, India's presidency gives us a unique opportunity to further stamp our authority in the global scale. And as far as my department is concerned, we are coordinating 2 engagement groups. One is called Business 20, which is a separate engagement group, and we'll go through the exercise of holding those conferences, and there will be about 100 meetings in the whole year for B20 engagement group, and finally the findings, the communication will be fed into Sherpas group, which further will go into leaders group, leaders whatever finds its way there. This year we were also successful, given the India's startup success story, able to create a new engagement group called Startup 20. So we'll be holding meetings for that also, and we'll try to build a collaborative platform for the G20 countries. We are also looking at that. G20 countries, they are relatively the richer class in the world. So these 20 countries should look at also providing hand-holding support to remaining developing countries. So that is how we are looking at the Startup 20 group.
Mr. Anurag Jain, we appreciate the time that you have given for speaking with us. Thank you for speaking with All India Radio. Deep gratitude, sir.
Thank you so much.
You were listening to Year-End Series exclusive interview with Anurag Jain, Secretary, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. The interviewer was Gaura Dhawanlal, AIR correspondent. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio.